What's going on, legendary people? Today we'll be taking a look at Queen Jean, aka the Dandelion Goddess, Miss Denim. Let's go ahead and talk about it. In this video, we'll be going over weapons you could use on her, artifacts, her best constellations, and the talents that you should focus on. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. At the bottom left-hand side corner, I'll have team comps going across the video, and make sure you like the video and subscribe for more. Leave a comment and let me know who you want to see next. The weapons on Jean, let's go ahead and dive into it immediately. The weapons that you can use on my girl Jean. If you are building her, let's go ahead and start from it. Favonia's sword, for all my free-to-play players out there, this is going to be for you right here, all right? Favonia's sword is definitely going to be the weapon of your choice that you want to rock out with on your Jean. Next up is going to be an Inazuma weapon that I do not have, but if you have it because you craft it, you are more than welcome to use it. Next up is going to be the Skyward Blade, of course. Skyward Blade is, of course, beautiful on her. The energy recharge is lovely and a little bit of crit rate that you get, especially if you are building a sub DPS type of Jean build. Last but not least is going to be the Aquila Fanvonia sword. It is a 5-star weapon, and of course, if you have it, use it on her for those who want to make a physical Jean build. She's one of those characters that you can use for different builds just because, but we all know how you need to run her though, if that makes sense. And then there are a couple weapons that you can use if you would like to. Like, honestly, if you want to have fun with her, then try out the flute, y'all. The flute is a very fun weapon to use on Jean. It's not the best by a long shot, but it is fun. Okay, so there you have it right there. Those are going to be the weapons that I recommend for you. Next up, when it comes to the artifacts, well, let's go ahead and talk about it. If we go directly here, you can see that what the game is recommending you is basically the double V set and any set that has 2-piece attack on it. Now, if you really genuinely want to be different, you can of course run her on 4-piece noblesse if you would like to, but that is pretty much where it stops, unless you are one of those guys who just wants to be different and do a physical Jean build. That is a thing. It was in the early days, and if you are still in the early days of Genshin and you want to live that nostalgia, feel free to use that. But outside of that, you can use any of those sets right there. So 2-piece attack and double V is all you really need unless you're doing 4-piece noblesse. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. If you are building her with, of course, any type of DPS to her kit, any type of DPS to your build, I should say. Of course, crit rate and crit damage is going to be important. Outside of that, attack is going to be very, very important. And then energy recharge. Now, if you are wondering, well, what should the stats look like? The energy recharge should be roughly around, this girl needs a lot of energy recharge. Her ult does cost a lot. Energy recharge, in my opinion, needs to be around at least a minimum of 160. Anything above that is going to be good. Crit rate for me, that ult is a one-time hit, so if you can get it to 60% or above, it's going to be great. Crit damage, 150 minimum as always. And then attack, 1800, depending on how you are building her. If you're doing like a DPS build, you're probably only going to get around like 1800 to a 2000, maybe 2100 if your roles are really lucky. If you are playing her for just support and you just stacking her with HP because that's how her healing works, then you are going to love her and just stack with a bunch of attack and probably have like 3k. Healing bonus, it's up to you if you want to rock out with the healing bonus crown. Do your thing. It's recommended if you would like, but I'm not going to fight you over it, okay? So that all depends on you. Now let's take a look at my Queen Jean. Here goes my flower, and this piece is delicious. My feather, and this piece is delicious. My sons, and this piece is, I mean, it's good, but it's not great. I would have loved for one more roll to go to crit damage instead of defense, but it is what it is. And then my cup, yeah. My cup, delicious. Now, these are the subs that you want on a sub DPS Jean build right here, bro. Double attack, crit rate, and crit damage. Oh, that is so good. And then the crown is coming in here looking, you know, I did not like this when I first rolled it, but I've grown to like it. The energy recharge is helpful. Crit rate, of course, is nice, and then the crit damage is good. I like it. I just wish there was attack on here. Now, so there we have it. Next up is going to be her constellations. If you are asking me, what do I think her best constellation is? I personally believe her best constellation is her C2. I think this is really, really good. When Jean picks up an elemental orb particle, all party members have their movement speed and attack speed increased by 15% for 15 seconds. That's really, really good. So good. But last but not least, we cannot forget about her C4. If you love Jiao or any type of Anemo DPS, then the C4 is going to be your favorite. Within the field created by the Dandelion Breeze, all opponents have their Anemo res decreased by 40%. That is absolutely insane. When it comes down to her talents, her best one, of course, is going to be her ultimate. Her ult is, of course, going to be what you want to level up. But if you are using her overall for everything, then go ahead and do it equally. You'll have a lot of fun. Her skill is a lot of fun too as well, if you just want to boot enemies off the map in certain locations. Outside of that, let's take an overall look at my build. You see that I have no elemental mastery because it is not important on Queen Jean. My crit rate is at 60%. Crit damage is at 153. My incoming healing bonus is at 22% because I'm not rocking out with the healing bonus crown. And my energy recharge is at 192. I love it. I love it. I love it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for kicking it with your boy LG. Y'all have a great one. Subscribe for more gotcha gaming. Let's have some fun, y'all. Peace. Hey, hold on. Let me know what you think about this build too as well, okay? Let me know. Let me know.